say, hey, I'm an adult now and I can't do the things that I used to do on the wages that I bring in right now. I think that you'll be successful in your goals, but if you continue to do the things you're doing now, obviously it's not working. So um, you know, really, really, really try to strive to meet those goals every month and every week. And I honestly think that within 6 months from now, that you will become, very, very happy with what you've earned and you've saved in your savings account. And um, I think that I just really think that that will work. You know, so. Um, you know, in 6 months from now, like I said, we'll meet again and we'll go back over the steps that we've talked about today, and hopefully, by then we have achieved some steps, and we can go from there.
Okay.
So, is there anything that we've talked about today that you know that we've hit on today that you'd kind of like to go on and tell me some more about, or?
Um, what are some things I could do if I find myself in a situation? Like if I know I'm out and I know I'm about to spend money, could I call you, or you could call me to check up on me to make sure that I'm doing these steps to make sure I get in my head okay.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'd be willing to give you my cell phone number, and anytime you have any type of problems like that, as I said before this interview, I'm by no means a problem solver. So I can't tell you what to do, nor can I fix your problems. But I am here to help, and I am here to be a backup for you. And so if you do catch yourself in those situations, yeah, absolutely. I'd be more than comfortable to to help you, or kind of talk you out of that, situation, because I understand that going out on Friday and Saturday night is something that a lot of people do and a lot of people can afford, but there's also a lot of people that can't afford it, and you seem to be in that category of people that can afford it on Friday and Saturday night, but then come Monday, you're broke. So you can't necessarily do those things, and I would absolutely be more than happy to help you. If you were to call me, I would be more than happy to help you. Out of that situation. But more importantly, I think that you shouldn't put yourself in that situation. Once you get your weekly paycheck, like you said before, you said about fishing and outdoor recreation and stuff like that. Maybe you should think more about doing that
fish?
kind of stuff. I do, yes, I do.
Maybe we could fish.
Yeah,
Take my mind off
absolutely,
of things.
absolutely. Maybe on Friday and Saturday nights, we could do something like that rather than you going out and going to the bars and going to the clubs and stuff like that. It's a hobby that you will enjoy, or you say you enjoy, and you will potentially save a lot more money than going out. So I really recommend you doing activities like that. So so what other steps? Is there any other steps that you think you should take to be able to achieve your goal?
Um, I just want to, like I I said, just take the savings account and make that my main goal right now. Other steps I could probably take is probably choosing better friends. They're like,
Absolutely.
Friends influence you to do a lot of stuff that you don't want to do, or you know it's wrong to do, but you want to keep your status with them to a good level, so you do it anyway. So sometimes I feel pressured into doing things that I know I shouldn't do, but I do them anyway. And I just need better role models, better friends. That's why I want to maybe have you help me out and keep me away from them. Maybe one day it'll just like, my mindset will just be like, okay, I don't need to do this anymore. I can have fun doing this instead of doing this.
Right.
So it's just a matter of who I'm hanging out with, and just better influences on my life.
So basically, the friends and the people you're running around with now are, you don't feel like they would be supportive of you.
Because a lot of my friends, they don't have responsibilities. They don't pay
Right.
bills, and they don't have to, they don't work. They get mommy, daddy money, so they can blow it.
Right.
I don't have that. And sometimes when you're the same age, but your status is different.
Yeah.
But, I just need to be around more responsible people.
Completely understand, and that's, like we've talked about already in this interview, that's just a part of maturing, and for some people that is difficult because there are a lot of people that do not have responsibilities, like the other person, and I understand completely. I've had friends like that all growing up, but you can't dwell on what others do, and however, that may not be their issue. Money management may not be their issue, but it is it is your issue, and they may not have to worry about money, but you do, and if that means not going out to bars and clubs and betting money on games and living the lifestyle that they live, then that's just part of it, but I feel like that with the goals that we've set and the savings account and the simple stuff, like you said, staying away from certain people, I feel like that those goals and those steps, those actions will significantly help you achieve your goals. And I feel like in 6 months you will see a huge difference if you do what you said you will do today. And that if you don't, the same stuff will happen. So I feel pretty confident about this interview today, and how do you feel about what we discussed and what we went over today?
I feel like it's a huge monkey off my back.
Yeah.
It's like I don't have anybody else to talk to about this, because they're just, oh man, you sound like in your head, just come on. And I don't have anybody to talk to about it, and I appreciate you taking your time to talk to me and me talk to you about it.
Right.
And now that I've addressed the situation, I'm willing to work at solving the problem.
Right.
So,
Well,
and I think I can do it.
Absolutely.
It starts up here.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Absolutely.
So,
as long as you do the things we've talked about today, and you surround yourself with the right people, I thoroughly believe that you will be, fine, and you will achieve your goals. So, if you don't mind, before we finish, because we're almost done, and I know that this is a longer interview.
I'm fine. But thank you.
Tell me some strengths. You touched on the fact that you need to stay away from certain people. You need to stay away from certain things. But tell me what strengths Tim has to stay away from those things.
I would say my strengths to stay away from those things is,
I mean, do you have the willpower? Do you feel like you have the willpower, and do you feel like you have, the motivation and the, what it takes in here to stay away and to say no from those friends and say, no, I'm trying to achieve a certain goal and I can't do it by going out every night. Is that maybe some strengths that you feel like you have?
I'm gonna say after talking to you, yes. Before, probably not. Because it's always been in the back of my head, but I never felt strong enough to address the situation because, like I said, I was worried about my image around my friends. And until one of my other friends brought it up to me that, hey, you need to stop asking me for money, you need to save your own money, it never dawned on me. So I think I had the strengths all along, I just was afraid to show them.
Right.
And I'm willing to let my pride go and show my strengths that, hey, I don't have to do this anymore. I'm willing to change my lifestyle, seriously.
Right. And I can just tell you by this 20-minute interview today, some of the things that I see, some of the strengths that I can see just by sitting here and talking to you is that you acknowledge that you need to be around and you need to do different things. You acknowledge the fact that you might not be as privileged as others and that you have to work harder. And, I think that's a huge step at, potentially achieving the goal, that you're wanting to achieve. Because, I feel like that's a huge step at getting to where you want to be. Because if you can't see that yourself, I don't feel like that you'll ever be able to achieve those things. And you've already acknowledged those, within this 20-minute interview. So maybe not before this interview you've seen those, but hopefully after this interview, with me telling you that you can kind of see what, strengths that you have and what, positive things that you do have rather than the negative things that, that you might have thought before this interview that, that's all that you had. But overall, I'm extremely happy with this interview, and I'm extremely happy with the way it's went. And I honestly think that if you follow the steps and the goal that we have set together, that you won't have any problem achieving it. That's just how I feel. How do you, would you like to tell me how you feel about
I
that?
felt more confident than I did yesterday.
Awesome.
Just off this interview. You said you're not a social worker, you should really look into doing that because you helped me out tremendously. My confidence level is shot through the roof right now.
Well,
And I know that with time I can do this.
absolutely, man. Anybody can do it. Anything. If you set your mind to it, I feel like anybody that sets your mind to something and strives to achieve that goal will achieve that goal. But you have to be the one to change. Okay. So, with all this being said, I know this is a lot that we've covered today, and I hope that it's that you've been able to really let it all sink in. And I know that after this interview, you'll be able to really sit down and think about everything we've went over today and discussed. And, I'm really looking forward to our next interview in 6 months. And, with all that being said, do you feel comfortable with everything we've talked about today?
Yes, sir.
All right, Tim. Well, I can't wait to see you in 6 months, man.
All righty.
All right.